Welcome to the Diverse Minds podcast, where we give you the tips, tools, and techniques you need to be a mentally healthy and inclusive leader. Each week, you'll hear about a variety of topics linked to mental health, well-being, and diversity that will enhance both your professional practice and personal well-being.
Welcome to the 266th episode of the award-winning Diverse Minds podcast. This month's theme is all about gatekeeping in the workplace, linked to Anti-Bullying Week and Month. Don't forget, the podcast is now fortnightly, but you can catch up on 5 years worth of weekly podcasts if you're missing out. But do catch us every fortnight. So why am I talking about gatekeeping this month? It's something I've been thinking about a lot lately, as so many people have the skills and the know-how, but don't get the opportunities in the workplace. And I do find that senior leaders love to talk about people not being confident, having issues, not putting themselves forward, but that doesn't look at the system. And I also find that it's not true. So what is gatekeeping? Gatekeeping is the act of controlling access to information, opportunities, or resources in a workplace. Gatekeepers can be individuals or groups who limit the opportunities and choices for others. And this can present itself in a number of ways. So excluding people from projects, hoarding information, limiting access to growth opportunities under a guise of constraints like finances, but yet someone else in the team gets the opportunities, and purposely excluding people from workplace activities. Now, when I read this list of things, it does absolutely overlap with bullying, and it is an aspect of bullying. And if you want to know more about bullying in the workplace, check out the following podcast: episode 11, Bullying and Harassment in the Workplace, What You Can Do About It; episode 63, Anti-Bullying Initiatives That Work; episode 116, Tackling Bystander Apathy with the brilliant Shamsha Chauhan; and my blog, Speaking Out About Bullying. So a gatekeeper can be quite challenging to identify. If we think about bullying in its broad spectrum, sometimes it can be easy to spot a bully, sometimes not. And of course, if gatekeeping behavior isn't challenged, that person is likely to turn into more of a bully because they know that they can get away with it. But gatekeepers will often separate themselves by hoarding knowledge, information, or resources to leverage their importance. Often it will be cloaked in the appearance of innocent errors, so not inviting someone to a meeting, oops, I forgot, your name should have been on there, and good intention towards some and not others. And of course, you get gatekeepers in families too, which there is probably a lot to say about that, but we're focusing on the workplace. Now, gatekeeping is different to respecting rules and maintaining professional boundaries. That's not gatekeeping. So if someone walks into reception area, demands to see someone and they haven't got an appointment, and the person at reception says, look, I'm sorry, you don't have an appointment, I can't let you in, that is different. They are following the rules and the regulations. So it's not centered on political game playing or manipulation. It's about following processes and procedures. Or if someone says, I really want to put on this event and you're not letting me do it, I really want to put on this event, it's really important, and there is a specific process to follow, and the person says, oh, that sounds brilliant, in order to do that, we'll need to follow these steps. That feels quite different. And as Dr. Larry Collier, retired school administrator and Air Force veteran and co-founder of Educational and Community Strategies LLC, educational consultancy, and diversity and inclusion leader, in a very good LinkedIn article, which I've included in the show notes, says, gatekeepers control the flow of power, funds, information, and resources, and are often in a position to speak for and translate for people without access to those things. So again, we have the power imbalance, where someone is just doing their job or following process, the power balance may not be as evident and present. So I really hope you're enjoying the content of this podcast and have listened to lots of episodes over the last 5 years. If you want to keep up to date with my work, then why not join my newsletter? When you join my mailing list, you'll receive a copy of my white paper on inclusive language and mental health. And that link is bit.ly/ILMHCK. So how do you then identify gatekeeping? Because it's quite broad. So I'm going to give you some elements to consider and think about that might become apparent. So the gatekeeper profile might look like their agenda. So how important their agenda is and whether someone's putting that before their colleagues, organizational goals, and team members. They may well have political nous in spades, actually, and it feels natural for them to push their agenda forward, and they know how to play things, and they will make moves that you think, wow, I couldn't see that coming, and you may not realize it till much later after the event has passed. They might feel threatened by you, so they undermine you or make you feel less than, very much similar to bullying, but it might be done in a more professional way. probably is done if it's more direct out of earshot. They may actually be feeling quite insecure about their position. So you might want to think about, if you know, and it's difficult because there's so many secrets in organizations often, aren't there, particularly large ones, but they might be feeling insecure about their position. So they end up playing politics to keep their strength and what they do. They aren't willing to help you, but you do see them helping people they like, their friends, or others who can then support them or do something for them, which maybe you can't do for various reasons or you don't want to do. They may not have the time or energy because there isn't anything in it for them helping you, so they don't see the point in supporting you. They may not give direct praise, and it might be often passive aggressive. So there are lots of people that can't give praise because they feel awkward about it, but maybe they'll show actions or do things. They might not say it with their words. Often with gatekeepers, they won't give direct praise, or it's often passive aggressive. Or if someone else wants to praise you, they may join in to make themselves look good, but they may not say it in front of you. And they can't necessarily, or they don't care how their actions or inactions are affecting you negatively. And it might feel like you are not with it, or you feel like, am I missing something? Is there something wrong with me? But you're not imagining things. Gaslighting is also a part of this process. So making you feel like you are experiencing things you shouldn't, seeing things that you shouldn't, but absolutely your feelings and your senses are real. So gatekeeping, unfortunately, does happen. It has overlaps with bullying and bad workplace behavior. Gatekeepers often will be fueled by their own agenda and will have political nous in abundance. There's often something in it for them, or they want to be seen in a particular way, or make sure that they're an anchor of a team or organization. And if this is a subject you'd like to know more about, don't forget I run workshops, training sessions, and keynotes for organizations about creating positive, happy, and equal workplaces. If you'd like to find out more about how I can help you, get in touch at Leyla, Leyla, at diverseminds.co.uk. And next week, we're going to be talking about how you can manage and challenge gatekeepers. But I really hope you've enjoyed today's episode and the shows over the last 5 years. If so, why not write me a review on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast from? And don't forget, I really love to hear from listeners. So to make this super easy, I've created a place online where you can leave me a voice note anonymously or with your name as you choose. And that is SpeakPipe, and the link is bit.ly/spkpdmp. And don't forget my TEDx talk all about the connection between race, culture, and mental health in the workplace. It's something you can watch on your break, as it's just 12 minutes long. And that link is bit.ly/TEDx Wolves, WOLVESLO. And as always, I really hope you enjoy it because it was a labor of love. And if you do, please leave a positive comment on YouTube, share, and like. And as always, you can connect with me on LinkedIn and Facebook. So they've got some resources for you, some really good articles about Beware the Gatekeeper and its passive gaslighting, and that's from Hub Pages. I've also put something around gatekeeping in the workplace that can manifest as racism, and my podcast episodes. So I hope you'll join me in a fortnight where I'll be talking about how you can manage and challenge gatekeeping in your workplace. Until then, everyone, take care and stay safe. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to the Diverse Minds podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you access your podcasts from. You can also connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Tune into next week's episode of the podcast, where I'll bring you more insights on mental health and inclusion. Bye for now.